thought it was appropriate to play the former walk-up song for the former big leaguer, who's also the author of today's book breakdown. The book, Let Them Play, a parenting and coaching guide to youth sports. Well, who the fuck wrote that? Eric Byrnes. Eric Byrnes is the author of today's book breakdown. And if you don't know who he is, you probably have no fucking clue who I am. Good. I am Kowalski. This is Mindbender, Mental Performance Podcast. Today's book breakdown, as I mentioned, Let Them Play, a parenting and coaching guide to youth sports. A little bit about the author. Enrique Byrnes is a former 11-year MLB player, Emmy award-winning broadcaster, Savannah Bananas manager, founder of the Let Them Play Foundation, director coach for the Let Them Play nationally ranked travel ball organization, and Speed Golf Guinness Book of World Records holder for playing 420 holes of golf while running 106 miles in 24 hours. Eric and his wife, Tara, have 3 kids, Chloe, 14, Callie, 13, and Colton, 12, Biggity Bam Bam Biscuit, all passionately pursuing their different sports and ways of life. Today, we break down what is Let Them Play. Back to the book. The mission of Let Them Play is very simple. Do everything in our power as coaches and parents to ensure we get the most out of players and teams while providing a free, fearless, and fun environment predicated on work. I think we could stop right there, since this is the book breakdown, and go a little bit to my notes here on this first piece of what we're talking about. Just immediately off the bat, you're looking at providing a free, fearless, and fun environment predicated on work. It's about empowerment and ownership. It's about a good freedom. It's about a good relationship between freedom and responsibility. And I think that's what we're talking about here. And ultimately, every great team, every great organization wants to go from coach fed to player led. Good. So, we've got to encourage our players to take responsibility for their development and performance and build confidence and give these guys autonomy. Back to the book. Here we reveal a revolutionary and internally evolving playing, coaching, and parenting philosophy developed through years of experience across many fields of life. So, beyond the environment of freedom and fearlessness, that, the cornerstone of this thing is a living document, that it continues to grow and get better. And it's not rigid in nature, but it provides a scaffolding and a foundation of how what we believe is to get the most out of players as who are people first, people who play sports, not baseball players. It's a person who plays baseball. Here we go, or whatever sport for that matter is. Back to the book. This Let Them Play philosophical approach has helped the Savannah Bananas to become a household name, while at the same time leading the Let Them Play travel ball organization to national prominence. The cornerstone of Let Them Play is exactly as it sounds. We, as parents and coaches, need to focus on developing the athletes so that they are empowered to own their path, to let them play. Through trial, failure, success, hard work, and relentlessness, our kids and athletes will be prepared for the road ahead. So, just in that first piece, and this is why we do these mini breakdowns, it's like we can then go and say, okay, what does that mean? What is the application there? Let's get into it. Let's get the blades off. Let's get the LTP lid on, and let's dive into it here. So, let me get to my notes. A couple things we talked about right off the bat: empowerment and ownership. The system is there, but it's meant to be coach fed and then player led down the line. You empower individuals to take ownership, and then your baseball application is encouraging players to take responsibility for their development and performance, and giving them confidence, and then giving them the autonomy to make decisions. Environment of freedom and fearlessness. the book says, ensure we get the most out of our players and teams while providing a free, fearless, and fun environment. That's really, the cornerstone, that you want to create an atmosphere where people feel safe and open and vulnerable to express themselves, take risks, make mistakes, that are free from judgment and removed from the outcome, knowing that the process is the dream. We want to cultivate teams where players can play with confidence and creativity, knowing that making mistakes and failure is part of the process. Good. And we talk about fun as the cornerstone. We got to emphasize the importance of enjoying the journey, having fun, the process, being there with your boys. Encourage a love for the game, ensuring that players find joy in playing. That enhances performance, and it always reduces any kind of burnout or decision fatigue about the game. Work ethic and relentlessness. In the book, through trial, failure, success, hard work, and relentlessness, our kids and athletes are be prepared for the road ahead. We always talk about preparing the child for the road or preparing the road for the child. We want to prepare the child for the road. If our kids can be competent with the spirit of adventure, they're going to be ready for the road. We got to instill a strong work ethic in players, and it starts by seeing us work. Like we talked about the Bananas experience. Byrnes and I moved out there. We didn't even have a car. We ran everywhere. We ran to the yard. We ran to dinner. We ran home from dinner. We went on away weekends. We ran with our suitcases across the cobbles all the way to the field. Sat knee to knee on road trips. Starts from the top. Get off your buckets. Get dialed in. We want to look at consistent effort, controllables, and then growth through trial and failure. The book says, quote, through trial, failure, success, our kids and athletes will be prepared for the road ahead. View failure as opportunities for growth, right? Loss, learning opportunities, stay strong. Don't go putting a period where God's putting a comma. We got to encourage everybody to see the game and practice as a constant learning and growing experience. If you're not feeling it, you can't go through the motions. You got to grow through the motions. So the evolving philosophy, right? That's a big part, I think, of this book that we'll dive into as we move along. A revolutionary and internally evolving playing, coaching, and parenting philosophy, staying open to new ideas and continually seek different ways and different insights to improve upon an already solid system and foundation and scaffolding. Very important. Supportive coaching. That's important. We always say it's not about the X's and O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. So be transformational, not transactional. Be a coach that, regardless of how that particular person performs or what the outcome is, which largely is out of our control, we're going to look at how was their attitude, how was their effort, are they trying to grow, are they getting better, are they being a good teammate? Good. So that's today's book breakdown. Shout out to the great Enrique Byrnes putting this book together, giving back, planting trees of which the shade he will never sit under. Right here, esteemed author. I don't know why that's not in the beginning of the book. Esteemed author. And for those of you who know, you know. But if you don't know, right above the Mental Keys to Hitting by Harvey Dorfman there in the library, I also have the Daily Hustle 222. Kind of an erotic back cover, if you ask me, for a life optimization and mental performance book, but nonetheless, it gets the people looking, huh? Good. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Mindbender Mental Performance Podcast. Another book breakdown coming at you live. We may piece this out. We may continue it, chapter for chapter until it's done. There are, in fact, let's see, I don't know, 16-ish chaps in here. Really short, good reads, appropriate for the Mindbender Mental Performance audience whose attention span is about 6-7 minutes, I presume. Nonetheless, thank you so much for joining me. We are coming live from the flatland desert oasis of Mesa, Arizona, where the sun does burn bright. Today, the birds are shining and the sun is chirping. When you know, it's hotter than a blister bug in a pepper patch. We will be back with you tomorrow with another episode of the Mindbender Mental Performance Podcast. For those of you who have asked, yes, we're going to have some more guests on the program. We're going to be bringing in some more people like the Sodak Kid, like John Elvis Tasca that we've had on previously. I know before my previous podcast, we had the great Matt Chapman, aka Dr. Octopus himself. Where you at, Dr. O? Slim Reaper. Don't ghost me, man. It begins before it begins. See you on the other side.